Hey, I'm Mark. Hey, get in and let's go. Work to do. Close the door, pencils down. Why? Because I am the king of rock. There is none higher. Sucker MCs should call me sire. To enter my kingdom, you must use fire. And I won't stop rocking till I retire. Retire, retire, retire. Oh, sorry, I'm a history teacher. And I'm going rogue. The American rock and roll band Aerosmith released one of their most popular songs, Walk This Way, on their Toys in the Attic album in 1975. It reached number 10 on the American Top 40. I'm Casey Kasem, now on with the countdown. Not bad for a song that was named for a line from Young Frankenstein. When Dr. Frankenstein, Gene Wilder, needs to know where something is in his castle, the limping Igor, Marty Feldman, tells him, walk this way. Guitarist Joe Perry had a guitar riff ready to go. All it needed was words. The finished product was one of Aerosmith's 2 top 10 songs in the 1970s, and it made Toys in the Attic Aerosmith's best-selling and most critically acclaimed albums. In 1986, Run DMC was in the studio working on their latest album, Raising Hell. As was customary for rap artists, their music was based in party scenes where they would rap over samples of an already recorded song, so says the middle-aged white guy. In their performances, Run DMC only sampled the intro to a certain song. They never got into the lyrics. They didn't even know the name of the band or the song. They would simply say, hey, put on Toys in the Attic and play track number 4. Producer Rick Rubin suggested that the group rap to the lyrics of the track number 4, the actual song, which was Walk This Way. Russell Simmons, Run, and Daryl McDaniels, DMC, hated the idea. They thought that Aerosmith's lyrics were country bumpkin, mountain climbing, hillbilly gibberish. But after some coaxing from their DJ, Jam Master Jay, and from Rubin, they agreed to give it a try. Rubin then pushed the envelope, bringing Aerosmith's Steven Tyler and Joe Perry in to join the production. Simmons and McDaniels grudgingly agreed. The two referred to Tyler and Perry as the Rolling Stones when they saw him in the studio. Tyler laughed it off, saying, nah, those are those other guys. After the recording session, Simmons and McDaniel left, glaring at Rubin and demanding, do not put that out as a single. Unbeknownst to Run DMC, their record label did release Walk This Way to rock stations with mainly white audiences. Meanwhile, the more hip-hop My Adidas was released to urban stations. But by the time they found out about the release of Walk This Way, it was quickly making its way up the charts, eventually peaking at number 4. I'm Casey Kasem, now on with the countdown. In the UK, it became one of the first big hip-hop singles, peaking at number 8. It was one thing for Run DMC and Aerosmith to be heard playing together. What would be the impact if they were seen together, like on MTV? Black and white, rap and rock? The two had never been infused before. The Walk This Way video begins with Tyler and Perry jamming on one side of a wall while Run DMC and Jam Master Jay yell at them to turn the music down. Run DMC then turns their speakers towards the wall, turn the volume up, these go to 11, and do their version of track number 4 on Toys in the Attic. Tyler punches a hole in the wall, seeing the rappers. Cut to the end of the video. Tyler and Perry, sans the rest of Aerosmith, are in concert when Run DMC shows up. Tyler spazzes out as Run DMC marches down stage in their Adidas with no shoestrings. And by the end of the song, they have their arms around each other, high-kicking and dancing, bringing down barriers between black and white and rap and rock. For Daryl McDaniels, the collaboration with Aerosmith ended up the best of 3 options. Had Run DMC simply done what they wanted to do, sample track 4 off of Toys in the Attic, it would have just been another song. Had they simply rapped Walk This Way, it would have been just another remake. But McDaniel states, in working with Aerosmith, they changed everything. For the mid-'80s, Run DMC was more palatable for the white community, more so than their contemporaries NWA or Public Enemy. Run DMC rapping about my Adidas that walk through closet doors, or rocking a rhyme that was tricky, 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 was easier to digest for white suburban MTV audience than something like Cop Killer. The collaboration with Run DMC marked a comeback for Aerosmith as well. They had largely been out of the music scene for several years as members were battling drug and alcohol addiction. Some members had left the band and their 1985 comeback album had flopped. Since the collaboration with Run DMC, they've now scored a string of top 40 hits. In 2008, Walk This Way was ranked number 4 on VH1's 100 Greatest Songs of Hip Hop. Acclaimed Music ranks this version of their song as the 110th greatest song of all time. And so, this became the first collaboration between white rock and rollers and black rappers in American music history. Or was it? In 1980, the band Blondie, fronted by the lovely and talented Debbie Harry, released their album Auto-American and released the song Rapture as a single in January 1981. Rapture was the first rap song broadcast on newly launched MTV. On March 28, 1981, Rapture became the first pop rock song to reach number 1 with a rap element. Rap had been around since the mid-1970s with artists like Curtis Blow, Africa, Bam Batata, and Grandmaster Flash. And the Sugar Hill Gang cracked the Hot 100 with Rapper's Delight. But he had not reached a broad, mainstream, white audience. Enter Blondie. Blondie was formed in 1974 by lead singer Debbie Harry and guitarist Chris Stein. By the late 1970s, Blondie was recognized as pioneers in new wave music. Debbie Harry became known for her beauty, her slick vocals, and her punk attitude. In 1978, the band matched up with producer Mike Chapman, who'd produced for the band ABBA, and who now infused Blondie's new wave sound with a disco beat on the band's album Parallel Lines. This paid dividends for the band with their first number 1 song, Heart of Glass, which became popular in clubs in New York City. Popular in clubs that allowed both black and white patrons. While playing in New York City's clubs, the band began interacting with many rap pioneers in the mid-70s, specifically Grandmaster Flash and Fab Five Freddy. Their raps impressed Debbie Harry, and heading into the production of the 1979 album Auto-American, she told Grandmaster Flash that she was going to write a rap about him on her next record. In relating the story to the New York Daily News, Grandmaster Flash said, "I was like, yeah, right." And about 5 or 6 months later, eating cars and eating bars and Flash is fast and Flash is cool, she kept her word. I was introduced. So now, white people and people of other colors were, who is this Flash? So she tremendously opened the door. Clearly it's not Grandmaster Flash rapping on Rapture. It's Debbie Harry. Perhaps it was the novelty of the rap and its silliness that made it palatable to a mainstream white audience, sending the song straight to number 1. I mean, what junior high kid didn't want to amaze his friends by being able to rap alongside Debbie Harry? At a time when radio was not playing rap music, like Grandmaster Flash or Fab Five Freddy. According to Debbie Harry, hip-hop artists like Wu-Tang Clan and Mobb Deep credit Rapture as being the first song that they ever heard on the radio. The video for Rapture highlights the integration prominent in the New York City club scene in the late 1970s. Debbie Harry dominates the video. Thank God. The male band members are secondary, but the video also features a tux and tails draped character, the Voodoo God, played by African dancer William Barnes. And although Grandmaster Flash turned down an invitation, the video does feature Fab Five Freddy and other black artists from the 1970s. New York, Lee Quinones, and Andy Warhol protege Jean-Michel Bisquet. Unfortunately for Blondie, their music fell victim to a backlash against disco music that started in 1979. The fear among many young white rock and roll fans was that disco was going to overtake their favorite genre of music. Saturday Night Fever had just scored huge at the movies, and disco acts were beginning to dominate the Grammy Awards in the late 70s. The resulting backlash was entitled the Disco Sucks Movement, highlighted by Disco Demolition Night, between games of a White Sox-Tigers doubleheader at Comiskey Park in Chicago. The White Sox only prepared for 20,000 fans to show up, but 50,000, mostly young white kids, made it into the park, some sneaking in through unguarded seams. Between games, Chicago shock jock and founder of the Disco Sucks movement, Steve Dahl, blew up a crate of disco records, setting off a riot in which thousands rushed the field. The second game of the doubleheader had to be canceled. It's not hyperbole to say that the Disco Sucks movement set civil rights back a few years. Disco brought people of different races together. Its demise created a musical racial divide in the early 80s. Rock and roll was for white kids. Rap was for black kids. Those kids that rapped alongside Debbie Harry in middle school now denounce the likes of NWA and Public Enemy in high school and college. I know, because I was one of them. So a 6-year musical and racial divide was created, and was simply waiting for the collaboration of Aerosmith and Run DMC on Walk This Way. Hey, thanks for coming to class. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something about the music of the 80s, the golden age of everything. Blondie, man. Debbie Harry. Oh yeah, I want to thank my producer, Casey Kasem. And I want to thank Mr. Brent Allen for letting us borrow his studio here on the campus of Columbia High School. Did I say Casey Kasem? Really? Casey Moulton. I had fun, but I won't quit my day job. And the next time you hear a rock and roll or a metal song with a rap element, remember Aerosmith and Run DMC. Remember Blondie. And remember me. I'm Mark Haggard. I'm a history teacher. And I've gone rogue. Fab Five Freddy told me everybody's fly. DJ spinning or saving my mind. Flash is fast, flash is cool. Francois says fast flash ain't no do. And you don't stop. Sure shot. You go out to the parking lot and you get in your car and you drive with a fire and you drive all night and you see a light and it comes right down and land on the ground and out jumps the man from Mars. And he tried to run, but he's got a gun and he shoots you dead and he eats your head. And now you're in the man from Mars. You go out at night eating cars, you eat Cadillacs, Lincoln 2, Mercury, and Subaru. And